Today, we're exploring love, not as feelings, not as an affection, but the kind of love that endures when life presses in. I remember when I snapped at someone for hurting my feelings. My reaction in that moment wasn't based on the kind of love we're gonna talk about today. Many assume love is easy when things go smoothly. But what about when a family member disappoints us or a friend hurts us? Over the next several minutes, we'll unpack what real love looks like, where most of us misunderstand it, and practical ways to practice love this week. Stories like what I started with can make us feel like love is impossible at times. But the Bible gives us a rhythm for love that endures even in those moments. Let's read 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 1 to 7 together. And let's pay attention to how love is described in these verses. So 1 Corinthians 13, 1 to 7 says, If I could speak with all the languages of earth and of angels, but didn't love others, I would only be a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I had the gift of prophecy, and if I understood all of God's secret plans and possessed all knowledge, and if I had such faith that I could move mountains, but didn't love others, I would be nothing. If I gave everything I have to the poor, and even sacrificed my body, I could boast about it, but if I didn't love others, I would have gained nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable, and it keeps no records of being wronged. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. Love never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. So notice the rhythm of love from the passage we just read. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is faithful. This isn't a checklist. It's a posture of the heart cultivated by the Holy Spirit. Love is often misunderstood as easy or a reward for good behavior. But let's unpack what the Bible actually calls love to be. Love in the Bible is active and resilient, patient when frustration rises, kind when it's inconvenient, faithful even when it shouldn't be. Let's think about our week. Maybe someone irritated us. Maybe we lost our temper or spoke harshly to someone. Real love is not about perfection. It's about trusting the work of the Holy Spirit within us and practicing small acts of love consistently over time. So, if love is active and resilient, how do we actually cultivate it in daily life? Here are some ways the Holy Spirit forms love in our hearts. 1. We have to spend time daily abiding in Jesus. We're called to abide in Jesus in John 15, 1 to 5. And abiding in Jesus allows the Holy Spirit to produce His fruit in us. We can abide in Jesus through prayer, reading the Bible, worship, or quiet reflection. Second, we can reflect on God's love. Maybe think back to those moments when God showed patience, kindness, even when to us, even when we didn't deserve it. Let that shape how we respond to others. A third way to do that is to reframe difficulty. When challenges arise, could we see them as opportunities to practice love? Each act, though small, is training our hearts. Let's keep this in mind. The Holy Spirit doesn't demand perfection. He Himself cultivates growth as we cooperate with Him and practice consistently. Now, knowing how love is formed is one thing, but what does it look like in the daily rhythms of life? So, first, at work, maybe you might consider listening fully to that colleague even if you disagree. At home, maybe offer patience or kindness to a family member you would typically rush past or ignore. In the community, maybe notice someone who's often overlooked and extend care to that person. Love is a lens, not just a feeling. By intentionally choosing love in small moments, it becomes our natural posture over time. These small acts can be overwhelming if we try to do everything together at once. So this week, how about you pick one ordinary interaction per day? At work, at home, or in the community, and practice love intentionally. And let's notice how the small choices begin to shape our hearts with the help of the Holy Spirit. As you try the small acts this week, remember, we're learning this together, not perfectly, not all at once, but faithfully developing Christ like character one fruit at a time. So, where could you show love this week in a way that challenges you? Leave your comments below.